Julia Fox was working for me as that guest judge. Really, really enjoyed her wackiness. The fact that she's so embraced by the fashion community. I don't know why I didn't know that. I don't know why I thought she was just like a hack and a joke. But it was cool. It was cool to see her in that element and thriving. Anywho, yes, I'm once again, if you're watching, I'm in disguise. I've got the hat, I got the sunglasses, I'm in the dark. Because I'm the amount of treatments I'm doing to myself to get ready for my sister's wedding. Can you tell I'm panicking? Just a little bit. It's yeah. I have a conditioning treatment in my hair right now, and I'm gonna do another one tomorrow, the next day, and then I have some serum on my face and on my neck right now. And tomorrow I have a hydrofacial. Look it up. And the next day I have the spray tan, but I have to prep my skin for the spray tan. So I've been doing extra body moisturizing. I have not done very well on my, unfortunately, with the binge eating issue that I have, the deprivation always is followed by the binge. So I'm trying in the next few days to just not do that. But I'm not going to put any pressure on myself because oh, but I got my damn pants back from the alterations place and they hemmed them too short. So now I gotta go back and take the hem out. Ugh. So if only I had skills like they have on Project Runway, because I'm sure I could just do that easy breezy. But I'm gonna go pay someone even more money. It's like I've spent so much damn money. Weddings are so expensive when you're in them, you know? It's kind of a flaw in the system, if you ask me. All right, let's talk about Project Runway.
Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. I mean, look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I'm a complete mess.
What is this, honey?
I love that.
I'm Emily. Every week, I recap the latest episodes of your favorite Bravo shows, from Housewives to Vanderpump Rules.
We need to get more cosmopolitan. Hot-teeny!
So if you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.
Shall we? Brandon came to the back because Christian was, there must have been a reason why they had to go to Connecticut. But Christian was at the other location. So Brandon comes to the back to do the go pack up your workroom thing. And then he's like, I'll just talk to you guys, designer to designer. Do you guys drink back here? And then he gets a glass of rosé and he just tells them, you already have successful careers, but you guys came back for whatever reason to take what is yours and just have fun and, just basically it's going to get really hard for me to send you guys home. And we see that this episode. But, just Brandon, you just love him. My God, he is just, so delicious. God, so nice to have a judge who doesn't act judgy at all. That is one definite plus. They didn't have a judge that was like, well, you want to know why you couldn't have a judge like that in the originals, because the show was still just not, it wasn't what it is now. Now, designers in real life are like, I watched Project Runway. So now you have Brandon is like, I was the kid watching Project Runway and now I'm a judge. And he's so good at, walking that line of I'm a fan of the show, but also I'm a judge. Okay. He still is, he gives good critiques, Christian FaceTimes in and tells them that they're going on a road trip tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I just am like, when do these people sleep? What time was this that they were even receiving this information? There's so much more to these competition shows than just meets the eye because we get such an edited version. But to see it, to be experiencing it, oh my God, you need your mind to be creative. So the fatigue, the mental strength it takes to do this, it is no easy feat. But Christian's store in Connecticut. Now I'm like, was this all just to see the store in Connecticut? Or is it because all the denim is there and they couldn't ship it over there. It was just like such a big road trip. It must have been just because it's like for us to take all the denim to New York, let's just drive them out here. Maybe I'm going to go with that. But Karasan's prize for winning the last challenge is she gets to pick who she goes up against. And Karasan's confessionals were really funny this episode. She's like, okay, I guess that's a prize. Can you just real quick, part of being on set, like if anyone listening or watching has ever worked on set or does currently work on set, one of the most kind of vital things about it is just being a good hang, a good person, honestly. Like that's a lot of it is word of mouth because like, oh my God, they were so good on the last job I did. You should totally bring them on. Karasan, you could just imagine how great she is to have on set and work with. And like, because it's such a it's costume designing is so different than designing because you're on set, you're around so many people, you know? So I don't know, she just seems like such a cool person and like would be fun to just because it's a lot of sitting and waiting, you know, and she would be cool to sit and wait with, right? But Christian's like, you have to pick who you have to think of who you can beat. Karasan goes, is that what we're calling it? She's like, I don't want to. But then Brittany picks, okay, so Karasan picks Anna, sorry, but Brittany picks Laurence. And I was like, oh, no, your logic there didn't really pan out. Damn. In her head, she's like, she only works with leather. I'm like, no, we've seen her do jean, like, no, I was so worried because I know Laurence can do jean and do denim. Bishmi and Prajay end up going head to head. That's not my favorite. I don't like when that happens. Not at all. I don't like it. Anna is always selfish and savage when they have to grab things first come first serve. She ends up with so much. I'm like, okay. In the workroom, we have bleaching happening. Laurence is also giving really good confessional this episode. She's like, I mean, I think she picked me because she thought she would be easy. I would be easy to beat. And she's like, right? That's what she thought? And she says, I came for blood. Laurence is cool. Karasan picked Anna because she wasn't going to pick Cateau or Laurence. And then she goes, this is her confessional. She goes, and Anna has a very different style. I'll just say that. So you didn't have to, if you didn't add the I'll just say that, I would have thought you were just saying that. But like now I know you're being a little shady and I like it because Karasan's always so nice. It's always nice when like the the nice person's a little shady, you know. Okay, during Christian's walkthrough, he goes over to Cateau and he's like, you should add like another surprise element. And she goes, really? And it wasn't like it was like, you're going to fucking do that to me right now? Wasn't it a 1-day challenge? She's like, fuck you, because now I'm going to be thinking about what you just said. You know? Rami and Christian reminisce on the original denim challenge where Christian made a mess, okay? And Rami made a chic, but now very dated, top and skirt situation. But it's definitely like now it's dated. But back then it was like, okay, there you go. I think that's kind of Rami's issue is he peaked. You know, he's having a harder time evolving. All the bleaching is making me nervous. Because Anna goes to Christian. She's like, I've never worked with denim. And he goes, first time for everything. And then she's like, I've never worked with bleach. And he's like, okay, you're going to do this? Okay, here we go. But she's Anna. That's what she does. It's like Anna ends up screwing herself over more than anyone when she does this stuff. It's like, you're the one who's going to have to make a whole brand new thing. Why do you keep doing it? But that is her journey. Prajay shows Christian his design, and Christian says, it's a lot of look. And he gives him some suggestions, but he can feel Prajay resisting. And he's like, look, be you. I want you to do what you want to do if you're committed to it. But I'm just saying, which just sucks because it does end up becoming a lot of look. You know, it is a lot of look. Brittany describes her look as Canadian Ivy Park. If Denim Dan was the CEO of Ivy Park. But Christian, she goes, this is not the dress. Brittany's life flashes before her eyes in that moment. And she's like, this is not the dress? Ugh. It's crazy difficult to be told. Just be innovative. It's like, oh, okay. Let me go do that real quick. Excuse me. Pardon me, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go be innovative. Right? Cateau and Anna are bleaching their stuff outside at the same time. And Cateau's like, well, you know, I need to wash it out. And Anna's like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, bitch, you could like, it's like toxic for the models. Which didn't Anna do something else earlier this season where she was going to be like, I don't even care about the model. She's like, forgets it has to go on a human body. And she's, at first she doesn't stop what she's doing, which I don't really blame her. But then at the after drinks they have, she's talking to Laurent, she's talking to Cateau. She's like, I gotta start my whole dress over. Yes, you do, honey. I'm so sorry. Next day workroom. I am obsessed with Rami riffing with Cateau. Because, you know, Rami's kind of like, I wouldn't call him in any way uptight, stiff a little bit. Just, you know, a little, just kind of almost proper. And Cateau is just messing with him like, I gotta battle you. And he's like, I know you got the juice. I said, oh, okay. Aaliyah did wear his outfit. He's at the cookouts. Cause I was like, then Bishme came in and he was ripping with Bishme. I'm like, I would like to see more of this. I think a little spin-off with a few of these guys working in a workroom together, making stuff would be fan-fucking-tastic. You know, like what the winners would do together. Oh, that's a great idea. Huh. Because it would be like because Rami's a great hang. He's so sweet. They love him. He's just, yeah, so he's a good hang. Rami, Bishme, Cateau, Karasan, Laurent. I just want Rami in there with all of them. That would be a hysterical show. Even just Bishme and Rami. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, whatever. Rami does have issues though. He says the length of the skirt I'm not liking, so I'm just gonna be adjusting, making this cage skirt, which is gonna take forever. And whenever these little gems come in that are going to be eventually what's in the runway. Oh, well, Judge, I just realized that the producer probably asks them about them in the confessional. Like, how did you feel about the length of your skirt? And Rami's like, well, the length of my skirt ended up being a problem. So, or he meant the skirt under it, didn't he? Not the one that's going to be the cage. He meant, because the overall length of the skirt was the problem that Willie had, right? Because I couldn't tell because as soon as Rami said the skirt under it was wasn't the right length, that's what I was looking at. But now in hindsight, I'm realizing he ended up making the overall length not modern. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. Christian just comes in and annoys every single person he talks to in this next, because it's a 1-day challenge. They're all stressing. And he makes fun of Anna for not knowing she had to watch off the bleach. And oh my God, but then Cateau makes a joke from across the workroom. She's like, glad I washed mine off. Ooh, shots fired. I'm like, but they are shots fired. Like, damn, girl, what the hell? But then Christian goes and sees Brittany sewing in the sewing room, and he's like, are you done? And she snaps, I wouldn't be here if I was done. And I was like, give it to him. That's right. Give it to him. Okay? Because he did the Siriano save on her. He still kind of treats her like she owes him one. And I think she hates it in my head. Because there's a moment at the very, we'll get to it, but there's a moment where Brittany says a little something where I'm like, oh, I see. I think she really resents somehow. Like she's grateful, but it's like, this came with a price, the Siriano save. So on the runway again, we have no Nina, but she will be back next week. But they have Wally Chavarria, who's a guest judge or filling in for Nina. And then we also have Julia Fox. She was really fun. Just really, really fun, really unhinged, and that's always a good time. Okay, now it is runway time. Let me refer to my video that I took. One moment, please. Okay, first up, Project. Oh, that's right. It's so bad. So, okay, there's so much going on. The cut of this jumper is so unflattering. But there was just too much going on. The detail of it is amazing, but it was like the execution of it fine, but the final outcome, it's like, oh, there is just every single type of thing you can put on this thing, and it's open in the back, connected by more pieces of denim. It just looks like a bunch of pieces of denim, so the work gets lost. You know what I mean? Okay, now we have Bishmi. I feel like after what Project did, it's like, oh, this is nice. It's so you know he's going to win the head to head. Bishmi's coat is awesome. I know that they stated that the dress itself was like um maybe too simple, which is fair. It wasn't innovative. It was more just about the coat. The coat took him so long to make that you still get the props. It was still styled great. Mimi with the hair like that and the earring, just really great styling as opposed to Project's, which was like, there my eyes don't know where to look. There's so much happening. Kato's up next, and she did, and this is kind of her signature jacket. Her signature jacket was she did with a pencil skirt, and the tie-dye looks absolutely incredible. I could see why they loved this one because even I, who don't know a lot about fashion and how to make things, I can see like in the very back there's this detail on the way the collar goes up that looks like, oh, that looked like it took an extra bit of time. Like this, the craftsmanship is very visible in this. And good styling. I think the boots were a good choice. The ankle boot or whatever you call that. I think that's an ankle boot. Yeah, ankle scrunch, whatever. Oh no, Rami's. This model did what she could. She's so stunning, but the caging on the midsection, who's pulling that off? And the top of it is so fucking great. The top half with the high collar and the crop, yes, like loving it. It just has no business being with that cagey skirt, I tell ya. None whatsoever. Anna's look, while while I understand the construction issues and like all that kind of stuff, I did understand why Julia and Elaine liked it because I can see what she was going for, and I think it was actually kind of cool. You know, I'm coming around on Anna just a little. This happened on her first season too, where she would drive me crazy and then she'd do something really cool. She's just a good, I guess she's good reality TV. I should just start embracing Anna, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? But everyone agrees, Willie especially, the thing on her face, not necessary. He leans over and says that to Brandon. Okay, Karasan's up next. Now here's the deal. I thought this looked too busy. I thought it was too much going on. I actually didn't really like this one very much. The button top thing was cool, but then when you also combine it with the like the I don't know what else to call it, but other than like that caging connector on the side, I would have done like one without the other. But they loved it. Like I thought there was so much happening too in the detail of the skirt in the front. Um, so I didn't love it. The styling was good. I like the shades, obviously. But then out comes Laurence. And you're like, just stop everything. This is it. This is Laurence knew that she had a slender, a thin model, and that this kind of dress looks so fantastic on a body like that. And I agree with the judges. Those spikes had no business being there. So if you imagine it without the spikes, oh my God, like someone was going to commission this dress from her for sure. It's so stunning. Like the back detailing. Oh my God. It is fucking fabulous. Is it fun with me doing this for the people that are listening and not watching, with me just like staring at it? Out comes Britney's. And it's cute, right? It's cute. But unfortunately, when you put that up against Laurence's, no one's winning. Honestly, not a single person. When something like this is cute, and it's a what I also didn't totally get it, but I feel like this wasn't meant for me. Her little mini skirt, mini dress with the button in the front. I didn't like all the combinations of the denim. I also didn't necessarily love the boots, but actually, that's the perfect thing to go with it to balance the bomber jacket. But Brittany knows. Brittany knows. She's like, that's it. That's it. I'm done. Okay, so then they get into the judging, and they did like Anna's look actually, and they said, but just Kirasan's was better constructed and fit great. Laurence gets all great notes, but why the spikes? And Laurence's response, she's like, I was actually going to add more, but I didn't have time, so that didn't work out. But when the model turns around, like when Laurence turns the model around so they can see the back, they gag, they gasp, they gag, they die because it's so amazing. Oh, it's like it had the same effect on me as the one Karasan did last week. Where I was like, it's amazing. Give it to me. Give me the whole thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so for the bottom people, I only took notes for their notes. Brittany's notes is they all pretty much like it. They all pretty much like it. And Brandon says, I'm happy to see where you're going with your fashion. Project's notes, the silhouette is a problem. And the back didn't need to be open. The styling, the red lip, the rings, the net booties, like you threw everything at it. And also this model, I can say this, I'm white. I don't really think a white model was pulling off that look. Period. Not a redhead, sweet-faced model. No edge whatsoever to this model. So it was a tough sell. And I think he tried to edge her up with the styling, right? Anna's notes is you didn't need the damn face chain, but I got why she did it. And it didn't, for some reason, it didn't necessarily bother me just because it's so Anna. And Julia's like, I'd wear it. I'd wear it. Brandon goes, all the elements unfortunately felt torturous. I think it's that cage thing. It looks like, yeah. Rami's notes are that the cage around the midriff felt a little dated. The pieces don't go together. And Willie points out the length of the skirt doesn't feel modern. It's got to be the overall feel. So they go to the back. The judges deliberate. They all live for Laurence, obviously, right? Willie says it's sexy, and I love it when something is sexy but doesn't show a lot of skin. And then he looks at Julia. He's like, sorry. She goes, no, it's okay. I'm not going for sexy. I'm going for unhinged. And her eyes are all bugged out like only Julia's can be. So Julia and Elaine like Anna's, but Brandon says, look, I could see through the crotch of the dress. So there was clearly a construction issue. And then Julia goes, well, that's actually not a deal breaker for me. So Laurence wins, obviously. But Rami is out. And it's heartbreaking because Brandon looks so, he's like, it is one of the most odd and strange things to be sending you home when I think of how much you influenced my own journey. And Rami is like the just classiest guy ever. He's like, it is a privilege for me to be able to be here in front of you as a Palestinian. So I am blessed. And then Christian comes to the back and uses his save. And he cries. He says, I just don't want you to leave yet. Project is me. Project is sobbing behind them. And that is like, I was bawling. And then Rami does a whole, I just want to say, I am so proud of you. I'm going to start crying. He's like, I've been there. Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. I've been there from day one. And as someone who has seen you start this, I'm so proud of you. And then Christian's like, you better stop. And then they're both crying. Project is me. He was like unconsolable. I was like, I just need a minute. It was such a fucking moment. That's why I love reality TV when it goes on like forever, because you have all this history. It's like when Wes and Bananas finally became friends. That's the challenge. Sorry. It's so good. I stopped those tears. I got it. Whew. It was 20 years in the making, it felt like, or however long, a long time. Next is the Below Deck crew with Kate Chastain as a guest judge and Luann de Lesseps. Let's never forget Luann's when they did the reunion dress challenge, and Luann's up on there, and Nina goes, you to the designer, you made a dress that's fit for a countess, and Luann goes, thank you. I'm like, it's not a compliment to call you a countess when you call yourself a countess that you aren't even supposed to be. You're not a countess. The narcissism on Luann is next fucking level. All right, wow, this is one of my quickest recaps, but it's Project Runway. We just got to talk about what happens. It's nothing like, what is this, Housewives? Anyway, next week I will try to get an episode out, but next week is my sister's wedding, and so starting Wednesday it is bachelorette party, rehearsal dinner, wedding itself on Saturday, and then it's like everything in between. Anything that can happen, I just want to be on standby, because if I even utter the words, I can't. Not happening. So yeah, if I don't see you guys next week for this, I won't not do let's see. I may just double up the following week, because I am going to try to get some episodes done. I'm going to definitely do Orange County. Oh, Monday. Nope, I know it. I'm doing Monday for sure, tomorrow with Kendrick. So I'll give you Atlanta, New York, and Love Island. Okay. Love you, mean it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
And I will do, I don't want to overpromise stuff for She Speaks It All. But yeah, episodes are going to be late next week because of everything. But other than that, business as usual after that. Okay? Love you guys. I mean it. And I will see you when I see you. Okay?